What's going on, everybody? This is Clark Beckham, your host of the American Idol Breakdown, former runner-up of American Idol, where we tell contestants not to watch and they probably just watch anyway. Let's get started. We've got quite a packed show in this one. First, we have Hollywood Week in Nashville, and I realized I was hating on it before. But I realized, this is actually really great, and I think I'm going to use it myself. Next time Chanley and I go on vacation, I'm going to tell her that we're going on a beach day to Knoxville, and that I've got a $100 Lulu gift card for her, but it's $20 to McDonald's, and for her birthday cake, I'm going to give her a sandwich, but it's going to be a birthday cake because I said it's a birthday cake. And I guess I learned that whatever you say first is actually what the thing is. So, kudos. We've got Hollywood Week in Nashville. We have 127 contestants, which is actually very, very, very small from what I understand, because my season we had, I think, like 250, and the first cut was to get to 125, I think. So, almost double of what they've got there, which you could read into it in a bunch of different ways. But the good thing is the cuts aren't as severe as they have been in seasons past, but it's still a wild cut to get from 127 to 30. First, we've got Bryant Thomas. Bryant Thomas, our TikTok Don't Look At Me guy. For someone who rose to social media fame without being seen, he's got, it's going to sound funny, he's got a lot to offer when it comes to just looking at him. I mean, he's got so much showmanship. He's got a vibe going on with the camo Crocs and the camo cutoff shirt with the aviators that he absolutely annihilates onto the ground. With his stage presence, he has no fear, and he's going for it. And with all of those shenanigans is a word I want to say that's probably too harsh, all the extra stuff, he's got one of the better voices on the season. And I thought he sounded great in the audition. I thought he sounded even better here, like way better here. And is a standout, absolute standout. And they use them as their leadoff hitter of the episode, which is another good sign. You'll start to notice the people they really lean into, like him, and that is usually a good indicator that they are still in the competition as of today, meaning they're top 24 or 30 or 12. I don't know, however they do things. Bryant Thomas, we just talked about. Keela.
Stars, they burn, some even fall.
Keela, to me, when it's time to like rev the engine and really hit the gas, as good as it gets, I don't think there's anyone in the competition I'd rather listen to like really wail than Keela. When we get to the chorus, it is great. When we get to the like chorus plus, when she's just really going for it, I'm soaring. The verse, the soft stuff, is where I think she could really become a problem in a good way. Her vocal coach, right before we saw her sing, they showed a clip of her saying, now remember, really soft, very simple in the verse. I think she said something like you're singing to your son or something like that. And she's like, okay, got it. Which tells me, I speculate, I don't know, but it seems like maybe they're trying to reel her in on maybe some of the runs and stuff. And when she sang the verse, I don't remember any runs that were busy or too much. But what she sounds like to me, it almost is like when you accidentally. She's so used to just revving her engine. It's like, when you get your car stuck in first gear and you are like driving to drive like 45 miles an hour on the highway, and it's like that, but you're not really going very fast. It's like when she's singing those soft parts, it's like she only knows, like her singing, I work with singers a lot on this, but her singing switch is on, and it's like, I won't give up on us, rather than I won't give up on us, even if the sky. That really soft voice. And it's actually very, very simple to get there. I call it your speaking voice singing. And this is one of the most, like, one of my favorite things to teach. And I've got it in vocal foundations, where if you just, I teach this in that class, where if you just talk like your softest, sweetest voice, just start talking. Because a lot of times when we turn our singing switch on, like it's time to sing, a lot of stuff gets added on. And if we just strip it all and just talk like this, I say like a yoga instructor or meditation guide, and you're just talking like this, and then just start to put pitch to it. Like you're going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Not singing, you're just talking really softly with pitch. And then if you go from there and sing from there, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1. I won't give up on us, even if the sky gets rough. That's where you can really shine. And everyone can do it, because everyone can talk. Everyone can speak softly. So if she nailed that, oh my gosh, she would be we'd all be crying. And many of us probably were. Just a quick reminder, you might think you're subscribed, and you might not be. So just click the subscribe button and see what happens. If it says subscribed already, then congratulations, you're subscribed. If not, just hit that button. It changes nothing for you, changes a lot for me. Liking the video, same concept. We are doing this video on Thursday instead of Wednesday because of a bunch of reasons. But if you add the notification bell to your list of things to click, you'll never miss an episode. And it just shows up on your phone. I have notifications for other YouTubers, and it is not invasive at all. Just a little pop-up to remind you to watch. Livy.
Baby, let's just turn down the lights and close the door.
She's got great technique, but doesn't always use it. So when she's singing one of my all-time favorite songs, and I mean that literally, like probably top 20 songs of all time for me, Versace on the Floor, Bruno Mars. So when she's singing underneath the chandelier, it's not wide and like yelled like a lot of singers would do. It's not underneath the chandelier, it's underneath the chandelier. It's that closed, compressed, mixed voice. And right now in the key I'm in my range, it sounds good either way. But she's a lot higher, where that chest starts to break up and starts to sound yelly if she were to do that chest. And she chooses to do mix, which is something, a register, a technique that not everybody has nailed down, and she has it nailed down. But then she keeps going, and then she doesn't use it sometimes, and it's a little blown out. So if she just, sometimes with singers, when you do that mix, it doesn't feel as powerful as a full-on chest belt, but it's sharper, and it sounds better, and it's easier for the audience to enjoy than the underneath the chandelier versus underneath the chandelier. That difference. So I would just advise her to dial that in, where everything is mixed when you go up in belting, and she'd be super clean. She was a bit loose on some of the notes pitch-wise. Here we have our first instance of a judge saying some critique that has absolutely nothing to do with the performance that we just watched. It's their turn to talk, and they just insert judge cliche. And so he says, song choice is everything. You really got to pick songs that show off your voice. Got to show it off. I'm not saying because it's a great song, in general, it's a great song choice. You have to be specific. But if the criteria is to show it off, show off your voice, she was singing all over the place. What else do you want to show off? The range of that song is massive. She was like dancing around. She was going for it. She was singing all over the place. And then you tell her you got to show it off. That's the kind of stuff that like haunts contestants in their sleep, because they're thinking, how do I got to do it? How do I have to do it? When you say something to someone and they respect you and you're a reputable person in your field, they take it seriously and they try to do it. The only problem is idol judges sometimes don't know what to say, and so they just, like I said, insert a cliche of a judge saying, and then everyone nods their head and like, yeah, that's good. Can't disagree with that. And then it leaves the contestant on a wild goose chase. So please stop that. It is the worst song to end on a 1. It feels so wrong. And I think all of the arrangements are ending on 1, and it's just because it makes things way easier for all the contestants they have to play for. But gosh, this feels like a wet blanket when you do it on this song. What I mean by 1, so let's go here. Let's take our time tonight, girl. Versace on the floor. When it ends, that's the 1. And it ends like Versace on the floor. It's so corny like that. It sounds like a nursery rhyme or some song, like theme song from a circus. Just like what it does in the original is Versace on the floor. Take it off for me, for me, for me, for me now, girl. I think it does something like Versace on the floor, floor, floor. And it ends like that, which is how I love it, how I know it, and that's how it feels good. Ending on 1 feels so wrong, like kissing your sister. I don't have a sister, I'm an only child, and I don't know what it would feel like, but that's what I think it would be like. Vika. It really bothers me that I'm not sure if it's Vika or Vika. Here's what I am sure of. She's a great singer. And I'm sure that Luke is making me mad on this one. And if there was one contestant that I actually wanted to watch this, it would be her. Because, and this is what I would say, you did great. You sounded great. Your voice sounded wonderful. Your playing was good. Your tone was good. Everything was great. Luke doesn't like that style, which is fine. And what bothers me is Luke is treating that indie, some people call it singing in cursive style of singing, wrong. Like it's objectively wrong as much as singing off key is wrong, and that's bogus. Just because you don't like, I don't like country, really. I would never hear a country singer and be like, why are you singing with that twang? Stop singing like that. Golly, just, yeah, you got a good voice, but it's just with the twang and that would be so ignorant of me. And obviously, the genre of indie singing like that is not anything compared to what country is. But it doesn't matter. It's art and it's subjective. And I do think Well, really, I think all art is subjective, no matter what it sounds like. But if you just went by the way people sounded, like singing styles that you were comfortable with, and anyone outside the box was wrong, you wouldn't have Michael McDonald. You wouldn't have David Bowie. You wouldn't have... The list is large of world-class, life-changing artists that would not have a career because you just like, nah, your style is weird. So you're great if she's listening to this. You're great, and you did great. And she was crying. He's like, I thought I did better than they said. You did. You did. He's just not into the style, and he just he has to see the line between style and wrong, and he thinks your style is wrong, and he is wrong about that. Okay, let's keep going before I get upset. I do want to commend her for keeping it, though, instead of just trying to totally throw it away. And I would commend and I would encourage her. Well, she do whatever she wants. But if that's how she really feels like her sound is, stick with it. Don't check. That's how Amy Winehouse sang. She did pretty well. I think if Amy Winehouse, I guarantee you, if Amy Winehouse came and auditioned for American Idol, Luke would be like, what was that? Why are you singing? Oh, gosh. I mean, Simon Cowell said the same thing to Tori Kelly. Like, your voice is annoying. So just brush that one off. I'll try to, but I'm still salty about it. Next, we've got Micaiah.
Turn around again, love has knocked me down.
I thought she was about to go into Alpha and Omega at first. We give you all the glory. If you know, you know. But she didn't. She goes into this other song, and it sounds great. Band sounds great. This is their stuff that they sound really, really good on. This is the band's bag. And it's kind of an element they should think about, contestants or hopefuls, when they are picking songs. Because if you pick a song, the band sounds good, that's just going to elevate the whole performance. And they do have a vibe they lock into that they sound the best on, and it's this kind of stuff. She kind of reminds me of Diana Warwick, but with a bigger voice. She is the squall queen. We can just crown her as such. No one's pushing the gas pedal into overdrive with the nitrous button as good as she is doing. That squall is that rasp that you put onto a belt, and then you just push even harder, and it just becomes this this beautiful, but it's beautiful instead of like a dying animal like I just sounded. And if it wasn't 5 a.m, I'd squall right now. It's kind of like that kid who's like, I can do a backflip, I just don't feel like doing it right now. That's where I'm at. I'm the kid. But yeah, she sounds great. There are 5 or 6 contestants that when they perform, it's like, oh, that's what it looks like. They stand out way above the crowd, and she's one of them. Jordan McCullough is another one of them. He's another one of those guys that stands out. Another one of those guys that has no fear and seizes the stage. Just to have that ability to be that present in the performance where you're feeling good, your eyes are open, you're looking around, and you see someone like, I see you over there, and continues to sing and go for it. That is impressive, because that's his first performance in Hollywood Week in Nashville. And I remember mine, Hollywood Week, that was in Hollywood. My first performance, I was absolutely terrified, and I felt good. And as soon as I stepped to the mic, I almost felt like I was going to die. It was so terrifying. And I was just stuck in the don't mess up mindset. And for him to be able to just be up there and partying and then crush like that, very impressive. He's got a squall as well. He can add that on. It's a very churchy thing. And he's got a nice little squall on him. I think he probably did better live. Actually, I'm very confident he did better live than what translated on the TV. I thought what translated on the TV was very good. People were losing their minds there in the room. And that's one of those songs that you probably just have to be there for. And I bet it was a ruckus. And I bet it was even better than we thought it was. Madison Boone. I record reaction videos to every performance, and then I pick the ones that are entertaining to throw in here. My entire reaction to Madison is just me doing this. The whole time, that's my face. And they make a big deal about her changing the key, and it is a big deal. Most 90% of female singers cannot sing that song. Professional singers cannot sing that song. Maybe 90% is too high. I'd say most. Like pro singers cannot sing that song because it's just too rangy, it's too high. And then she raised it, I think a full step. It is a lot. And when she's up there on the top notes, she finds that note and freaking sticks it and doesn't leave. Her pitch is alien good when she gets up there. And through the unforgiving lens of the TV speaker, that was too many analogies, you can hear, if you really try to listen, moments of just missing and just like drifting from the pitch. But I'm telling you, when you're that clean, when you're that on, in the room, it sounds perfection. And it's just because you're in the room and not just like excited, but just the sound of the room that you're hearing with the noise and the acoustics. You don't hear that, and it just sounds perfect. And I guarantee you, if we were all in the room straining as hard as we could to hear an imperfection in that performance, we would not find it. Would not find it. She is bananas. As far as horsepower, I'm a big analogy guy today. As far as just raw vocal ability, she's like just the engine in the car. She's probably the best. I don't even know what I'm saying. She's probably got the best high octane motor of anybody on the episode. Take that however you want to take it. Then we see Brett Carlisle. Big rocker guy. I thought maybe if he had a path forward, it would be the Constantine Morales route. But he had a couple mistakes, and I'm kind of like, who cares? When someone makes a mistake, unless it's chronic, unless it's like every single time, I don't really think it's a big deal. But he didn't go through, and I hope he doesn't beat himself up too much, like, oh, I blew it. If I only would have remembered the lyrics, like I would have gone through and I would have had this like great run. I just think they're trying to go for a different direction in the competition this year. And then we see Noah Orion. Clean shirt and new shoes, and I don't know where I am going to. He's a blast. Would love some of that energy and confidence on stage, moving like that. That was really fun. Doesn't have a super strong voice, but is very entertaining. And I don't know if he goes through or not. He probably doesn't, because they're not sending a lot of people through, it feels like. Just a quick heads up. If you want more of this stuff, American Idol content, I do have channel memberships for that. So there are two tiers. The Groove Crew tier is $5 and gets you my unfiltered recap video the day after the show airs. And it gets you entry into the Idol Prediction Contest, where you guess my favorite performance. And once live shows start, You predict who's going home, too. Right answer gets 100 points. Wrong answers get 50. So make sure you submit something, because at the end of the season, the winner gets the Idol Oracle Trophy. It's shipped to them with a personal thank you letter from me. Then there's a second tier, which is all of the Groove Crew tier perks. It's $10 a month. But you also get a 24/7 private Q&A with me, where I answer every member's question on the channel in a voice memo. And that goes till the end of the season. I'm going to be picking one of those questions also to feature in an Idol Breakdown video. It's totally optional, but once you know about it, if you want more stuff, that's where you can get it. Speaking of the Idol contestant competition, the contest, our updated leaderboard, we have a true first place now with Grayson Ishihara, who's 2 for 2. He was the only person to guess my favorite contestant of last week, and that was Roel. Or no, I'm sorry, that was the first week. The second week was Ray. He's the only person to guess that. So the leaderboard now after Grayson Ishihara is a big 5-way tie for second with Whale Thumbs, Tina Hamilton, Thomas Franklinster, Subsu 6130, and Brother Eden. Then we've got Trace Casanova. Trace Casanova, I've been thinking about. He's been making me really think lately. And he feels like if Jack Black was a lounge singer. And that might sound like a dig, but then you think about it. Would you go to that show? I would go to that show. I would love to see Jack Black as a lounge singer. And it goes to, what are you looking for when you're going to receive music? Are you going for entertainment? Are you going to feel something? Are you going to forget about your worries and have a good time? Because he kind of checks all those boxes. And I know it's really tough on him. And I don't think he's an outstanding singer per se, but he's a very, very gifted entertainer. So what do we do with that? What is American Idol supposed to be? We always think of it as this, who's the best singer competition. It has I want to say it's never been that. But maybe it was back in the day. But I don't know. I'm not saying he's going to go on and win. But I'm a little more open to where I'm not going to get annoyed if he goes through. I'll just observe. Like, let's just see what happens with Trace. Roel.
Cool in California, I'd make you proud.
I thought it was a beautiful song. Took a long time to get to where we wanted. I mean, to get somewhere powerful. I don't actually like the song choice. It didn't really do anything for me. Was a bit snoozy in the very beginning, and then it got going, and I was like, "Oh, sick! This is nice." She kind of was giving me Lady Gaga, Miley Cyrus vibes as far as just her vocal tone, which was good. I wasn't sure if her voice was 100%. And then she was pretty disappointed afterwards with herself and said she forgot words. I didn't catch any of those. I didn't catch that. Whether that was in the edit or not, I don't know. It probably was. She's just probably really smooth. She's still one of my favorite contestants, but this is not one of my favorite performances from her personally. But they're going to keep her going, I think, because I think she's got too much potential and showed too much in her audition. Let's go Hannah Harper.
Nothing short of breaking down is gonna get me off this road that I'm on.
Our string cheese singer. Great tone. She sings like a famous person. She looks like a famous person. She's going to be one that they are really riding on to be the next big star, and I could totally see that happening. She had some small pitch issues that you probably can't hear in the room live. She had a couple runs that she went for that went a little soft, that was took the slide rather than the stairs. And I mean, like, 2 near the beginning, and then she locked in, and then she hit quite a bit of these nice little country runs that were really clean. She's a pro, and she's got the thing. She's got the magnetism that stars have, and I think if Idol had to end the show right now and they could only pick one person, or 19 Entertainment could pick one person to grab to try to make a big star and to deem the winner, it would be her. Filming.
Out of my mind, how many times did I tell you, no good at being?
Sang Lose Control. I thought this was great. He was behind the beat at times, wasn't right on there, and sometimes you want to sing in the pocket is what they call, which is kind of just sagging right behind the beat, but this was outside of the pocket. It was so behind that it was just not in there at all. And then at the very ending, he kind of lost that meter as well. Not a big deal. Probably not something that anyone noticed. 75% of the viewers even noticed. There's a sincerity about him when he sings that is very powerful. Just when just the way he looks. He just looks sincere, even when he's not saying anything. Just like his face, like it's just like it just looks sincere, and it's very becoming of him. I think that's the word I'm looking for. It's just very nice. It's very nice. I thought this was the perfect song choice for him, and you can tell, or it seems that he's really perfected this vocal arrangement and this performance. It was really, really great, other than just those tempo issues getting off the track there a little bit, but it's not a big deal. Lucas sang Georgia.
Dreams I see, the road leads back to.
Good piano player. A lot of soul in his voice. That was cool. Didn't know he really had that. Very charming. Knew what he was doing. It really is a great piano player. And it was a very clean performance. Very, very clean. Couldn't imagine him doing it any better. It looked like he was having a great time. This was very good for Lucas. Carmen. Carmen was pretty upset. And I got upset too on this one a little bit. Maybe for the first time at the editors of the show on this one. She was upset with herself. She was crying afterwards. The judges were like, "You okay? Like, what's going on?" It seemed like she was going through a lot emotionally before she ever started, and that took a toll on her and showed on stage. And it was as if, the judges said, it was as if she was giving up already. And it felt like the song and the arrangement was too big for her, which probably went to her chasing the judges' critique, which was like, I want to show more, I want you to be bigger, I want more grit, which was, I thought, actually good critique, but you got to find songs that really highlight what you can do, and I thought the arrangement might have been too big for her. But and that's why she was upset during the rehearsals, because it wasn't really clicking in, and then by the time it got to the performance, it just wasn't clicking how you want it to click. And then, this is what made me mad. When they started asking her questions, "Are you okay?" and she was explaining herself, don't put the freaking comedy music on. The string, doom, doom, doom. She's not an idiot. She's not like stumbling all over herself. And even if she was, what are you doing? Why are you... There was a girl on my season who did something humiliating on stage. She was so nervous. I'll just tell you. She was so nervous, she actually went to the bathroom on herself on stage while she was singing during her audition. And it was terrifying. And it would have made a really great, like, I guess, TV in that moment. But the editors edited around it where it looked like she was just nervous. And Harry Connick Jr. came up, put his arm around her, walked her off stage, says it's going to be okay. the whole bit, and they edited around to protect her and still make a great TV moment. And this time, obviously it's not the same thing, but when she's talking, they're just playing this comedy music like she's saying something stupid, or she's not. That was a low blow in my opinion. I mean, they got a job. You got to make the most entertaining stuff, and I guess that's what they thought was the most entertaining. You sign up for it as a contestant. Literally in the contract, it's like, we have the right to edit things however we want to. And as a contestant, you have to go in knowing that the trade-off is opening yourself up to potentially getting embarrassed on national television. But it just seemed usually they only do it to people who are really asking for it, who are mean or being ridiculous, and this was not the case. So I thought that was too much. And I think she's a great singer, and I'm glad she seems to have her head held high in this and is ready to keep going, because I think she should. Abiyami.
It rain.
I thought the big stuff in her voice felt a little out of control, a little too big for her. We didn't hear a lot of it, but when she came down and sang softly at the end, like the very ending thing in her arrangement, it was 10 out of 10. It was like, oh my gosh, I could listen to that forever. I think that's where she really shines and shows off her soul. But the big stuff, not quite as much, at least in that performance for me. Michael Gardner. Great rasp and tone in this guy, natural singing voice. He's 16, and what's kind of cool is he looks like he's 16. He's not like some of these contestants are 16 or 15, and you're like, wow, they look like they're 19 or 20. This guy looks like he's 16, and he sounds like he's 50. Great voice, great velocity to his voice. When he wants to punch, he pushes the gas pedal really well on his voice, and what comes out is just fantastic. This is like a sure lock for me for top 24, like to make it to the live shows. Chloe.
It's just another call from home. You'll get it and be gone.
I thought Chloe had some great moments. No fear, just seizing the moment. I thought she was great, and it started off a little rough, like just a little bit, and then got better and stronger and stronger. And like I said, she had great moments, and then they sent her home. That was a surprise for me. I do think she's better suited for this competition 3 years from now, which is such a frustrating thing to hear as a young contestant. Like, yeah, come back later. But I think she should come back later. She's fantastic, and she had no nerves, she said, which is good for you, dude. Keep going and come back later. Jack Thistle. Jack's giving me some Bruce Springsteen vibes. He's just got that swagger about him, you know, and the look is great. He's playing guitar, singing great, got beautiful rasp in his voice, great stage presence. He's just setting him up, knocking him down. Every time he goes to sing, from his audition to this performance, he just sets it up, has a great song, good arrangement, smiles, great stage presence, and just knocks it down. So that's another win for Jake. Chris Tungset.
I wish you the best of all.
Really cool take on the song. This song is called Jealous by Labyrinth, a beautiful, brilliantly written song. And the original is like this beautiful piano like that. I added that extra note. But anyway, that's the vibe. And he's doing it just acoustic guitar. And also no band, just the acoustic guitar, which is ballsy, because sometimes people are like, you got a band, we're trying to hear you with a band, you're not even going to use this band, it's a world-class band, you're not going to use the band. And he's like, no, I'm just going to use the guitar because I have a vision and I'm going for it. And he does and it really pays off. I thought that he had and does have currently a beautiful belting voice. When that comes open, his chest voice is gorgeous. Most of the time I'm pro mixed voice over chest voice, and I wouldn't change a thing with him. Like his chest voice is supported and just feels really, really good. Very him. It felt very true to who he is, and I feel like I got a deeper understanding and fell deeper in love with the artist and person of Chris Tungsteth and how he is. And that's what music does at a high level, is it brings you into the person. It's an empathetic tool to bring you closer. That's exactly how I felt. This is another song that ends on the 1, and it feels awful. It's such a heartbreaking song to go from, it's hard for me to say, I'm jealous of the way you're happy without me. Like, that feels so wrong. It's supposed to end on minor. That would have been so easy for them to do. Hard for me to say, I'm jealous of the way you're happy without me. That's all they had to do. But no, they went, but whatever, it's fine. Chloe. Chloe's got this really unique tone to anyone else on the show. Very forward, very edgy, right where you want it. Really good technique. Was a really cool arrangement. I've always wanted to hear somebody pull that off, and I think the arrangement worked to do Girls Just Want to Have Fun, almost like a ballad. This was weaker than I expected it to be, because I have high expectations for her, because I think she's got one of the best voices on the show, and I think the judges think that too. And there's no way they send her home, by the way. I don't think there's a chance that she goes home. But I think she's got some work to do to prove all of us right that she's as good as she is. She just needs to show a little better. And, first performance in Hollywood is very scary. So give her a second to lock in. 2 more contestants. One, we've got Braden. I loved this performance. Right now, if you're guessing and you're wondering who's Clark's favorite audition as far as the prediction contest goes, right now I'm between Chris, I'm between Madison, Jordan McCullough, and Braden. Braden is the last contestant. I said there were 2, but I lied. There's one more, and it's him. Beautiful tone in the verse. This is when someone just starts to sing in the middle of their range. They're not doing anything fancy. They're not doing anything big or explosive. And everyone goes, oh, ooh. And they're just singing normal. That is freaking dynamite, dude. To have that and then to be able to go into the chorus and belt and really push down on the gas, and it's another element of your voice that sounds like $1,000,000. Dude, that is gold. And that's where he's at. He sounds really great. Great tone, great presence, great style, very likable. He's checking every box that you would want checked if you're an American Idol hopeful, to use the term that they want everyone to use now. I do think it seems like there's too much strain right here. And it's not from I don't hear that. I just see it. His neck is just veining out. And I've seen that a lot in singers. And I talked about the vocal foundations course that I do. It talks about the speaking voice singing. Another thing I talk about there is the breathing. Your gas pedal, man, all the car analogies. Your gas pedal is in your gut. This is the muscle that lifts the heavy weight when you're singing, not here. You can do this for a little bit, for a song like he did, and no problem. You can't do a concert like that. You certainly can't do a whole tour like that. So it's here. It's like the difference between carrying a baby on your arm and carrying a baby in a baby carrier. You can carry the baby on your arm for a while until you're like, oh my gosh, mom's gonna fall off. Baby carrier, you can carry that baby all day long. That's what it's like singing from breathing and pushing from your diaphragm. But he's murdering this stuff. And I'll tell you who my favorite is in just a second, who the right answer is in the Idol Prediction Contest. But first, let's talk about this cliffhanger they leave us on.
If I call your name, please step forward. Filming.
Front row is Jake, Thistle, and Braden. In these moments, as a contestant and as a viewer, you see one row and you see like one person step forward and you immediately know, okay, that row's going through. And this is the case here. Jake Thistle goes up, you're like, that's got to go through. And then Braden goes up and you're like, 100% front row goes up. The only problem is, in the back row, you've got Chris Tungseth and Chloe, two others who are like, there's no way they're going home. And now they're split. And Lionel starts to say something and he says, you guys have, what does he say? You should be proud of how far you've come, but for now, your journey, ... I don't care what the cliffhanger is. I don't know what's going on. There's no way they're sending those 4 people home. There's no way. In my opinion, the talent pool is not as deep as it usually is. And these 4 are very talented, and there's no way they're going to just let these 4 great singers leave on the first cut. There's no way. So just expect some like, you should be proud of how far you've come, but for now, your journey is gonna keep going for the front row. Back row, I'm sorry to say that you're gonna be seeing us some more. And they're both through. Just get ready for that. In the preview for next episode, Lionel says, this is the toughest class we've ever had. They say this every year. They say something like, this is the best talent we've ever had. And every year I'm like, is it? Is it though? Is it? And then I'm like, well, I don't know. Maybe it is. Maybe, they said that my year and I believe them and I am biased and I kind of still believe that. But I would see others, I'm like, I don't know, maybe I'm biased and I can't really say, can't be a really fair judge on if this is the best ever. That's a pretty big statement. Not a chance this season. No. No. This is not the best season those judges have ever had. No. Now, he does say toughest class. So, what do you mean by toughest? If it means like toughest to decide, toughest to go through, like, okay, I can get down with that. But might be controversial, might not be something that makes me very popular to say, but this is not the best class Idol has ever had on ABC. No, don't do that. Okay, favorite performance. I actually went back and forth. I have someone written down in my notes, and I'm not gonna go with them. I'm actually, when I went through everything again, I remembered how much I loved Braden, and my favorite performance is typing it in, Braden. So if you guessed Braden on the Idol Prediction Contest Google form thing, then you've gotten 100 points. Congratulations. If you didn't guess Braden, but you guessed somebody, you got 50 points. And I'll update that leaderboard next week. All right, don't forget, it is not the critic who counts, which is me and literally all of these videos, and it's you guys too in the comments. It's not the man or woman who points out how the strong man, the Idol contestants, stumbles or where the doer of deeds could have done better. The credit belongs to the man who is actually in the arena, who at best knows in the end the triumph of high achievement, and who at worst, if he fails, at least he fails while daring greatly. Have a great week, and I'll see you next Thursday.